Welcome to a Ginghamsburg Christmas with special guests Jabari Johnson, Ruby Cavazos, Rusty Eshleman, Adeanna Wingfield, Emily Schulte, and the Ginghamsburg worship team. Let's welcome our host, author and pastor, Rachel Billups.
Greetings, friends. On behalf of the Ginghamsburg community, we are excited to be with you, sharing in the joy of the season. Starting us off today with a familiar carol, please welcome Rusty Eshleman singing God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. My Uncle Mick loved Christmas, and I love that about him. He really was a kid at heart and my absolute favorite. Every July, Mick would get serious about decorating for Christmas. He made it his job each year to add even more lights, bulbs, and Christmas trees to his menagerie than the previous year. He'd call and tell me, I've got 46 trees this year. And honestly, I'd shake my head and think to myself, that's a lot of work. And it's kind of a little weird. But it brought joy to my uncle and joy to the people in his neighborhood. Not only did he have one of those houses, you know the ones I'm talking about. Your kids beg to drive by every night because it's a bit of Christmas chaos over there. Lights everywhere. And Uncle Mick would say, if it doesn't move, it's getting lights. Yeah, kind of had this feeling that if you stood still too long in his yard, you'd likely become the next display. Mick's love for Christmas went beyond the trees to the tinsel and the old-fashioned toys filling every room in his house. This Christmas extravaganza extended well into February because, bottom line, my Uncle Mick wanted to wake up to Christmas every day. Every day he wanted to experience that childlike, over-the-top joy of Christmas morning. A joy to celebrate.
Hang all the mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better this Christmas. And as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together this Christmas. The fireside is blazing bright, and we're caroling through the night. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Yeah. Presents and cards are here. My world is filled with you. This Christmas, and as I look around, your eyes don't shine the town they do. This Christmas, the fireside's blazing bright, and we're caroling through the night. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Oh. Fireside is blazing bright, and we're caroling through the night. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me.
Okay, you get the paper.
Like this, and then you can go like this. Almost stabbed you. So sorry. Here, let's do like that. And then tape it with the bow.
Oh, my tape gun. I think I'm done. I think I'm done. Is my time up? What do you think?
Sometimes all the sights, the smells, the tastes, the sounds of Christmas memories are so vivid, you can almost reach out and grab them. That's how it is when I think of Mick and Christmas. Uncle Mick died almost 15 years ago, and I miss him a lot. I miss his crazy love of Christmas, and I've come to realize that for Mick, and maybe for all of us, those Christmas lights represent something deeper that we all long for. I believe Mick and all of us actually love waking up to reminders that tell us in beautiful and tangible ways that we are not alone. I wonder, what did you wake up to this morning? I imagine many of you waking up to a house full of preparation and in anticipation of the days ahead. I imagine some of you waking up to a readiness to the madness of Christmas soon to be over. Some woke up to a to-do list a mile long, to the whisper of little voices. Is it Christmas yet? Maybe you woke up to that good kind of chaos. But then there are others, perhaps an unwelcome chaos, hearts heavy with grief or despair. Still others woke up to an empty house, sitting down to eat with only an empty chair staring back. What did you wake up to this morning? After nearly a year of shifting realities, we've all had a lot of challenges to wake up to. Waking up to the reality that pandemics still exist in the modern world. Waking up to the fear of invisible viruses, the good and the bad of globalization, the residue of political divisions. Waking up to the reality of racism and that human tendency to want to name our tribes and to other one another. Across the globe, we've woken up to hurricanes and floods and fires and tornadoes and terminal illness and joblessness, economic devastation. All of it happening in one unbelievable year. And yet, despite our confusion and fear and grief, it's also true that you and I wake up every day to a beating heart inside our chest, to new possibilities. We wake up to hope. And here, with a song of hope, Adeanna Wingfield singing "Oh Holy Night."
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new
Claus.
Kris Kringle.
Saint Nick.
Pierre Noel. Saint Nicholas.
Father Christmas.
Kris Kringle.
Old guy. Santa baby.
Jolly old Saint Nicholas.
Kris Kringle.
Santa Claus. Oh. The man in the big red suit.
Guy in a red suit.
Guy in a red suit.
Santa.
Dad.
I've heard some people call him Jesus, but that's not correct. It's not accurate.
Jolly Elf.
Jolly Elf. Jolly Elf. Wait, Saint Nicholas. Wait, did you say that one?
Yes, it's a...
You said that one already.
Imagine with me, a young girl, not quite a woman, no longer a child. She's found herself in a 2020 kind of year. And although the politicians in the region were promising peace and prosperity, she and her neighbors were struggling to buy food, to keep their families together, struggling to stay clear of the crushing social and economic pressures. She said her prayers. She kept the faith, but she wasn't experiencing much of a turnaround. And then in the midst of all of this, she finds she is pregnant, unwed, young, outcast, and pregnant. Now her outside and inside worlds are in turmoil. It's all there. It's all in the Christmas story. Listen in.
The moment God had been waiting for was here at last. God was coming to help his people just as he promised in the beginning. Mountains would have bowed down, seas would have roared, trees would have clapped their hands. Just like that. But the earth held its breath. As silent as snow falling, he came in. And when no one was looking in the darkness, he came. There was a young girl who was engaged to a man named Joseph. One morning, this girl was minding her own business when suddenly a great warrior of light appeared right there in her bedroom. Mary, Gabriel said, and he laughed with such gladness that Mary's eyes filled with sudden tears. Mary, you're going to have a baby, a little boy. You will call him, what's she going to call him?
Jesus.
Jesus, that's right. He is God's own son. He's the one. He's the rescuer. Wait, God was sending a baby to rescue the world? But it's too wonderful, Mary said, and felt her heart beating hard. How can it be true? So Mary trusted God more than what her eyes could see. Sure enough, it was just as the angel had said. 9 months later, Mary was almost ready to have her baby. Now, Mary and Joseph had to take a trip to
Bethlehem.
Yeah, good job, Bethlehem. But when they reached the little town, they found every room was full. They couldn't find anywhere except an old tumble-down stable. And there, in the stable, amongst the chickens and the donkeys and the cows, in the quiet of the night, God gave the world his wonderful gift. The baby that would change the world was born, his baby son. Mary and Joseph wrapped him up to keep him warm. They made a soft bed of straw and used the animal's feeding trough as his cradle. And they gazed in wonder at God's great gift, wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger. Mary and Joseph named him
Jesus.
Yep, Jesus, Emmanuel, which means God has come to live with us. Because, of course, he had.
Mary wakes up to Christmas. All of it. And yet Mary is holding on to love, asking herself, what now? What just happened? There's fear and awe and wonder and peace. God has come very near. Friends, every time I think about it, it blows my mind. The God of the universe looked at the mess we've made of the place and said to God's self, I know what I'll do. I'll go there. I want to be with them, so I'll go to earth. I'll show up as a vulnerable baby born in an animal cave and give my humans a picture of what love with skin on looks like. So God came from heaven to earth and moved into our neighborhood. Instead of staying distant and separate and wholly other, God became one of us. God joined in, put on humanity. God lived among us. From Dallas, Texas, sharing Mary's story, Ruby Cavazos and Heather Cagle with Mary Did You Know?
This child that you've delivered will soon deliver you. Did you know that your baby boy would give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would calm the storm with his hands? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? When you kiss your little baby, you kiss the face of God. Oh, Mary, did you know? Oh, oh, Mary, did you know? The blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak, the praises of the Lamb. Oh, Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day rule the nation? Did you know that your baby boy is heaven's perfect lamb? The sleepy child you're holding is the great I am. He's the great I am. Los ciegos verán, sordos oirán, los muertos vivirán, cojos saltarán, mudos hablarán al Cordero de mi Dios. Oh, Mary, did you know? Oh, 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 Mary, did you know? Did you know?
Tape. Here. Ah.
Merry Christmas.
That looks fantastic.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, we're about to start. Let's go.
So you decide to host a Christmas party, and God comes. God eats your food and exchanges gifts for the night. God helps you navigate your cranky kids, your exhausted spouse, the grief of that empty chair, and the strange loneliness that keeps creeping into our 2020 days. And yes, God has stepped into all of that chaos and pointed us to a bigger picture, a less anxious way of living each day. You no longer have to live as though you're isolated and alone, cranky and stressed. And God says, I'm here, friend. I'm present right here, right now. You can actually live like it's Christmas every day of the year because the people who have walked in darkness have seen a great light. Wake up to Christmas, my friend. Come join the celebration. Let's welcome back Ruby Cavazos with Drummer Boy.
They told me, parum pum pum pum, a newborn king to see, parum pum pum pum. Our finest gifts we bring, parum pum pum pum, to lay before the king. Parum pum pum pum, pum 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 pum, pum 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 pum. So to honor him, parum pum pum pum, on my drum. Little baby, parum pum pum pum. I am a poor boy too, parum pum pum pum. I have no gifts to bring, parum pum pum pum. That's fit to give our king, parum pum pum pum, pum 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 pum, pum 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 pum. Shall I play for you, parum pum pum pum, on my drum, on my newborn king to see, parum pum pum pum, pum 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 pum, pum 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 pum, me and my drum.
How many maids are milking?
I think that was like 7.
Oh.
We don't have time for me to go through the whole song.
11 lords a leapin'.
There were multiple geese a-laying.
I always thought the alliteration would be nice, like 11 lords. I feel like that would be nice if I was the, if I got to write that song.
I know it's not right, but 11 doves.
Swans? Swans. That makes sense. You wouldn't want an odd number of swans.
Drummers.
Drummers.
Lords of fluting. Flappers.
Flapping.
Never mind. 11 pipers piping.
11 pipers piping.
Yes.
Like piping, like
Yeah.
cake piping?
Cake piping, yeah.
My grandma Ruby made the best buttermilk Christmas cookies. Not too thin, not too thick, sugar sprinkled, but not too sweet, never burnt. When my mom or my sister bake sugar cookies using grandma's recipe, I remember her. It's like her love is baked right in there. The flour and the Crisco and the vanilla. But I shouldn't be surprised. It reminds me of a story about the New Testament. Jesus, after having been resurrected from the dead, I know that I'm jumping ahead, but hang with me. Jesus is walking and talking with a couple of his followers who are so distraught about Jesus' death, they can't even recognize who's walking with them. So they invite Jesus over for dinner. And the story says, when Jesus was at the table with them, he took bread, gave thanks, broke it, and began to give it to them. And then their eyes were open and they recognized him. It was as if Jesus was hiding in plain sight. Through their grief, through their tears, through the taste of that broken bread on their tongues and the sound of his words spoken out loud, they felt the presence of God. God's love was baked right into that moment. Friends, God's love is still baked into every gesture of kindness, every hint of forgiveness, every expression of joy, every act of generosity. That's waking up to Christmas. Here with us singing, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Welcome Emily Schulte.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years, we all will be together if the Lord allows. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
I'll be home for Christmas. You can plan on me. Please have snow and mistletoes and presents by the tree. Christmas Eve will find me where the love lies gleam. I'll be home for Christmas. It's only in my dreams. I'll be home for Christmas. You can plan on me. Please have snow and mistletoes and presents by the tree. Christmas Eve will find me where the love lies gleam. I'll be home for Christmas. Oh, if only in my dreams. If only in my dreams. If only in my dreams.
Maybe for the first time today, you're waking up to Christmas. For the first time, you're hearing, listening, receiving that the God of the universe who loves you is right here with you. It's baked right in there. You can wake up every day to the light of Christmas, to the presence of Christ. Here's how the Gospel of John tells it. The Word, Jesus, became flesh and blood and moved into the neighborhood. We saw the glory with our own eyes, the one-of-a-kind glory. Like Father, like Son, generous inside and out, true from start to finish. There's something magnetic about those Christmas lights. You can see the glory with your own eyes, the one-of-a-kind glory, like Father, like Son, generous inside and out. It's the ultimate full-circle Christmas story. We take that same light that we've received and we extend it to others, human to human to human to human. And Christmas has this multiplying effect. It's why we invite you to give generously to a Christmas miracle offering. Everything that's given towards this offering will in turn be given away for the needs that reflect Jesus' call to generosity.
My name is Bill Lutz. I am the director of Ginghamsburg's Outreach Center, which is called New Path. We help people, whether it's food, clothing, home goods, transportation, medical needs. We help people. That's what we do. A friend asked me, New Path does so much good, but which New Path service are you most passionate about? Without a doubt, I'm most passionate about the New Path Utility Assistance Program. Each month, without fail, families come into New Path asking for help paying their utility bills. Normally, we have to turn most of these families away. However, in June, we received additional funds from the United Way, and since then, we've been able to help every family that has come to us. The poverty rate in Miami County, which is where Ginghamsburg Tip City campus is located, is 7.9%. That's over 8,000 people that don't have the necessary income to afford a basic standard of living. The pandemic of 2020 has only increased the number of families facing tough choices. Choices like keeping the power on or buying food for their family, specifically in Piqua, where electricity water, and sewer are all on one bill, many families have bills that are higher than their rent or mortgage. That puts approximately 1,100 families at risk, and it accumulates to over $1 million of missed utility payments. Think of what might happen without essential utilities in your own home. Basic daily necessities like cooking, refrigeration, hygiene, and heat through the winter would all present significant challenges. If we want to make sure no kid goes to bed without faith, family, and food, we need to make sure they have clean water and electricity to cook. These families need help, and we're going to give it to them because that's what we do. This year's Christmas Miracle Offering is going to expand the New Path Utility Assistance Program by 400 families. Not only that, but we can provide each family with financial counseling to ensure greater financial health and eventually financial freedom. But of course, none of this happens without you. Give the gift of hope this Christmas. It's for the kids.
You can give the gift of hope this Christmas by visiting ginghamsburg.org/give or by texting GC Gift to 77977. That's GC for Ginghamsburg Church, GC GIFT to 77977. Love multiplies, light shines, and the world is changed. On any given day, all of us, any of us, can wake up to Christmas. Now, one more fun fact about my Uncle Mick. He had a special 9-foot tree that he would totally load up with lights. Every year, there were more and more lights, thousands of them. So no matter how cold the night, how dark the evening, all he had to do was plug in that one tree, and you could see his house for miles, like a beacon in the night. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? Today, we wake up to Christmas together. We wake up to the light and love of Jesus Christ all over again. Not to hoard it or keep it to ourselves, but to share it. For love multiplies. We share our light and love with every human we encounter. And the times when we can share together, 2 or 3 or 9 or 27,000 of us, to multiply this divine presence, it creates a light so intense it cannot be ignored. Like a beacon in the night. And here in Dayton, we've learned of men and women who are desperately in need of help this Christmas. They can't turn their own lights on. There's no way to run their microwave to warm up a meal. Forget using the stove. They're unable to eat, sometimes stay warm enough to sleep. From babies to senior citizens, this Christmas we're gonna shine together and light up that tree so bright. One electricity bill, one gesture of generosity, one word of hope at a time. There's a Christmas Eve tradition that we'll be doing 2020 style today. We want each of you to have your own light of hope to share with the world. So whatever you have at home, maybe it's a candle, a flashlight, a cell phone, whatever it is, go ahead and light it at this time, sharing those lights with the people around you. Friends, let your light shine. Let's welcome the Ginghamsburg worship team singing Silent Night. Shine your light if you've come today looking for hope. Shine your light if you're asking for more faith. Shine your light if you know that you're loved. Shine your light if you are committed to sharing that love with others. Shine your light if you are ready for a new day. Shine your light. You are waking up to Christmas. From our entire Ginghamsburg community, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas.